as is with
A for Shauna.
S for Sonia. And today we're at Livingston's right here on the square in Brownsville.
Yes, I love Livingston. Such wonderful food and fun folks. How about that?
Yes.
Let's go in and talk to Jack and Glenda Pettigrew.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too, and then I want to get something to eat.
I'm with you.
Y'all come on.
I'm Glenda Pettigrew, and we're at Livingston Soda Fountain and Grill at 60 South Washington, Brownsville, Tennessee.
And I'm Jack. Livingston's is a combination of an old-timey drugstore soda fountain and a restaurant. We brought those two together to offer a combination of things where you can come get an old-fashioned ice cream soda or milkshake, or come and eat lunch with us, or even breakfast. The building that we're in was originally built by the U.S. Treasury Department as a post office back in 1935, and remained the post office until the late 70s when they built a new facility. And at that time, Livingston's Home Furnishings purchased the building, moved their business here, and we're here until March of 21 when we purchased the building and spent about a year renovating for the current restaurant. Okay. When we purchased the business, of course, the name was Livingston's. They had this retro sign on the side of the building that said Livingston's Furniture and Appliances, and the word Livingston's was over the front door. And we just thought everything was so nostalgic and so Brownsville. People were familiar with it, had seen it forever, and we asked the previous owners if they would allow us to save and use their name, and they were gracious enough to do so. And we just felt like it was fitting. Well, when I was growing up in Brownsville back in the 50s and 60s, my father had a local drugstore that had a soda fountain. And I remember going as a child and sitting on the stool and having the high school students fix cherry cokes and ice cream cones. And when those things were taken out in the 60s, it was just something I always wanted to bring back. And it kind of been a dream for several years. Well, the community response has been unbelievable. Initially, we were so busy, and that's natural, people want to just try out a new place. But we were so busy, we had a difficult time even handling the business. But as time went by and things kind of leveled out, it became more manageable. But the surprising part has been the out-of-town response, along with the locals. We see Brownsville people in here over and over and over again, are amazed at their support. But we also have people coming from the Memphis area, Jackson area, all the surrounding counties, and the West Tennessee response has been unbelievable.
I think, the patty melt is a huge seller. And we've done an original patty melt with the rye bread and burger and dressing. The Livingston burger, which is named after Livingston's, obviously, is a huge seller. I mean, we have so many great items, and of course that's our kitchen. That's Alex, that's Mario, Tammy. I mean, we have a dream team in there, and they are always cooking up something, and it's been amazing. It really has. They are all gifted, and they all bring something different to the table, and I think that makes us unique. The most popular item on the menu is probably the old time burger, would you say?
It probably is. We analyzed after 6 months sales to try to see what we needed to eliminate and not have. And it was amazing that everything ran hand in hand. So we didn't take anything off the menu. We added a few items that people had been requesting, but there was nothing that sold so little of that we wanted to take off.
The soda fountain, we knew we wanted to do some traditional things like the banana split, and we did it like an old time traditional banana split. Obviously sundaes and those kind of things. Basically, I got in my kitchen and I just started making up milkshake recipes. We wanted to do some fun specialty milkshakes, but I didn't want to be over the top with it. I didn't want the price point to be over the top. I didn't want it to be so much that you couldn't even really enjoy eating it, because that's been my experience. So we just played until we found some things we liked. So we have the Dandy, which is like a salted caramel. We have the Muddy Hatchie River, which is chocolate on chocolate on chocolate. We have the Nutbush City Limits, which is really a vanilla shake with some fun toppings. And we've got the Delta Dawn, which is kind of a fruity pebble milkshake. So that all kinds of fun options.
And she developed the Stack Mock for the Haywood mascot, and she had those milkshakes all developed out and recipes to make them, and we were doing that. And one evening, a couple of gentlemen from Ford were visiting. We were just talking. They liked to visit, and one of the high school students said, "Why don't we do one for Blue Oval City?" And they said, "Hey, that sounds good to us." And they ran it through their HR department to get the okay, so that it would be all up and up. And we got a word about 2 days later to go ahead with it, and she worked on that one.
Because coming up with a blue milkshake is more than a notion, but we went with birthday cake, and it kind of is a light blue, and we put a little blue icing in there, and so we made it fun.
It symbolizes the birth of Blue Oval City. So a birthday cake ice cream, and with all kind of blue swirls and additions, and they blessed it. It's been a big hit too. A lot of the things that we have in the building are just old items that I have collected and saved through the years. Some pharmaceutical, some medical. My grandfather and father and older brother were all pharmacists. And so we had some items from the pharmacy that they had spent many years in. And then I had collected some medical items through my career. We've added those here and there as a touch to kind of just give people something to look at and remember the old days. And we do have an old jukebox that we restored. Actually holds 45 records. And we've got some older trains. I've collected Lionel trains most of my life, and we thought it would be fun for the young folks to have some trains. So we've got a couple of trains running around the ceiling on track, and some of the display cases off.
And on Wednesdays we have live music at lunchtime, so that's a fun, addition on during the week if you want to come in and get some lunch and hear a little live music.
As far as our menu goes, we have a couple of things that are also nostalgic and reminiscent. She named the milkshake that she mentioned earlier, the Dandy. She named that after my father, who his grandchildren call Dandy. And he'd rather eat a piece of chocolate candy than lunch. And
the apple does not fall far from the tree.
So she developed that and stuck candy bars in it. But we also have what we call a Miss Ann's Flight, and that was named after my mother, who was a big dessert cooker. And so if you can't decide which dessert you want, you can do a flight of three half desserts, so you don't feel too guilty. And pick and choose and have a little of it all.
And most of the recipes, Jack makes the chocolate pie and the pecan pie and the lemon ice box, and those are all Miss Ann's recipes. So it's kind of fun to bring, her into this, because she would love it. She would. We're closed on Mondays, and Tuesday and Wednesday we're open from 10 to 4. Thursday and Friday we're open from 10 to 8 p.m. Saturday we're open from 7 to 8 p.m. and Sunday brunch is 10 to 2. And we would love for you to come visit us at Livingston Soda Fountain and Grill.
Well, Sonia, what do you think?
I love Livingston's. I love the atmosphere in here. I mentioned earlier I've yet to try one of the shakes. I'm going to remedy that real soon.
Yes.
But it's really hard to get past the food.
It is. I mean, these fried mushrooms, this hot pimento cheese dip. Yum, yum, yum. I'm ready to kind of dive into this.
I'm with you.
What do you think? Right now?
Right now, let's go.
I'm ready. Bye, y'all.